relations, spirituality, mental capability, uh, religion, wisdom, belly, liver, and spleen.
Okay. Someone go for sixth house.
Roga, Rina, Ripu, enemies. Maternal uncle, aunts, service, success, subordinates, employment, hurdles, struggles, servant, body diseases, legal litigations, theft, kidney, large intestine. Intestine.
Yeah. Seventh house.
Jayasthana, marriage, spouse, partnership, love marriage, marital happiness, contracts, litigations, divorce, honor, reputation, second child, open enemies, extramarital affairs, reproductive organs, uterus, urinary tract, sperms, ovaries.
Yeah. Eighth house.
Mrityusthana, debts and liabilities. Am I right?
D and L is the death and the longevity. That's why I make it as a short death and
Okay,
longevity. Yeah.
Death and longevity. Diseases, death, longevity, mental pain, obstacles, mode of death, search, research, foreign settlement, chronic and hidden diseases, fraud, sudden loss, astrology, pelvis, uterus, seminal vesicles, external genitalia.
Yeah. Ninth house.
Bhagyasthana, luck, dharma, fortune, father, foreign travel, publicity, higher education, writing books, wisdom, prosperity, religious institutions, long journey, devotion, dreams, father's wealth, visions, hips, thighs.
Dharmasthana. 10th house.
Profession, status in life, pleasures, honor, authority, government favor, trade, business, occupation, moral responsibilities, achievement, public life recognition, knees, joints, bones, back.
11th house. Oh, sorry. I scrolled too much. Give me a second. Yes. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Go ahead.
Labhasthana, income, profitability, day-to-day earnings, accumulated wealth, elder siblings, social success, fulfillment of desires, friendship, recurrent income, profit, hope, big gain, legs, left ear, ankle.
Last one, that is the 12th house, is my mistake. The 12th house.
Devasthana, expenditure, secret enemies, pleasure of beds, lawsuits, imprisonments, sorrows, debts, moksha, hidden talent, foreign country settlement, feet, left eye, teeth.
Awesome. Okay. From this week onwards, we are going to revise the 12 houses continuously until we feel like it will be in back of your mind. Okay, then once in a while, we are going to revise the Kala Purusha chart as well. So now it's your responsibility to, whenever time possible, revise the Kala Purusha chart all the time, maximum at least once in a day.
Vanita, 1 minute. Mal, you are told me all these houses, no? That means suppose a person Lagna is there, that is to be considered or as per the Rashi?
Correct. That's a good question. Okay. Now I considered for the remembrance for the based on the Kala Purusha, I considered the Mesha Rasi as the first house. Okay.
Not Lagna. Not Lagna.
Now considered you having a Simmalak. Okay. Then this is becomes your first house. Simmalagna becomes your first house. We consider Simmalagna means this becomes
fifth house. Fifth in this.
Okay, now this becomes your first house.
Okay.
Then you have to go around all the way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12th house becomes your Kadakaras. Okay. Now imagine a situation where you have in the. Okay, now I have the Kumbha Lagna. Then this becomes your first house. Then go from here, Kumbha. Meena becomes your second house, Mesha third house, fourth is Rishabha, like that it goes on like this. 12th house becomes your Makara Rasi. Is that clear?
Thank you.
So these are all house specific characters.
Yes, house
Characteristics.
specific significant. Yes, first
Significant.
house means, okay, then you will ask me, Monica, this is the only thing the first house represents? No, it's very large. It's huge. First house represents many things, everything in the world. For example, the representation of the color, representation of the food which we take in. There are many things comes under the first house itself. But why we are taking the important things when you 4 to 5, at least 10 to 12 things we have to remember. These are the important things. It have to be in your mind all the time. Then once you're going on in your journey of this astrology, you may add number of the significance to the first house, second house, third house later on. Okay. But at this moment, to keep this thing remember in your mind all the time. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
In the later point in time, I minimize that for you. For example, for a relation, when you remember all these things, first to 12 house, we are combining everything. We are combining the relation, foreign settlement, the job, profession, everything all together into one, right? So later, some point in time, when we are learning about how to find out the relationship in the houses, for example, if I want to find out my younger sibling, which house I have to see?
Second house.
Oh,
Third house.
Elder siblings?
Elder siblings will come in 7th, right?
Elder.
11.
Sorry,
11.
11.
So if I want to know about my mother, which house I have to choose?
4th.
4.
About my father?
9.
9. So about my first child?
5. 5th.
5th. About my second child?
7th.
7. About my third child? 9.
We don't go for third child.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. Consider a situation. If
Yeah. Please. I was just joking.
You were seeing the horoscope for, okay, in my father's age, right?
Yeah.
My mother's relations are all having a kind of a siblings like 5 to 6 at least. Okay, in that situation. Suppose in case you had to research this. So what I'm trying to say here was, once you find out the first child is 5th house, second child, you are jumping over here, right?
Yes.
So do the same thing again. Third child, fourth child, first child, same thing goes here. Okay, then consider a situation where you want, you want to find out about your spouse. Which house you have to choose?
9.
7th.
7.
Your spouse.
7th.
Your husband or
7th is
wife.
spouse.
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
You want to know about your spouse mother. Which house you have to choose?
4th from 7th. 10th house.
4th from the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that okay? And if you want to understand,
Relationship.
Your spouse is your husband or wife. Okay, whether the spouse is the husband or the wife, you will choose as the 7th house, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
7th house represent your spouse. Okay.
Yeah.
So from here, consider X person is the male and he reading for his wife. So he are looking into the 7th house. And you want to know about his mother's mother, so wife's mother-in-law. So from here, which house you have to check? So this is the lagna for his mother, first house for his wife, because the 7th house for the jataka. So that becomes the first house for his wife. Am I confusing?
That way. Okay. Got it.
Clear, right?
Can you
We have
repeat
to
it,
put
please, Vanita? Can you repeat it once?
Yeah. See, consider this is the one Jataka. Imagine
Okay.
this person is the he is trying to seek for the horoscope for himself. So he want to find about his wife. Which wife means which house?
Seventh.
It's seventh.
Seventh
So
house.
he's looking into the seventh house, and he
Yeah.
want to know about his wife's mother. Okay. So usually, when he want to know about his mother, which house he want to see? His mother means
Fourth
fourth
house.
house. Okay. So when you want to see about his wife means it is a seventh house. Okay. Now the seventh house is the first house for the wife. Yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, I will tell you the one thing later, but at this moment, remember this. This is the first house for the wife. Then if you want to know about the wife's mother, which house you have to choose?
So from the fourth house. Yeah.
So the 10th house becomes the representing the mother-in-law for this Jataka.
Okay.
Okay, but here, importantly, you can read anybody's prediction, the blood-related predictions from one's horoscope, but that is not recommended. Okay, you have to see that individual's horoscope. That says a lot. Okay, this is for you to understanding. Okay, that somebody was asking, okay, how is my mother-in-law health will be? Then see this one and say whether it is good or bad. But still, it is highly recommended to see the individual's horoscope. Okay, this is for the fun. You go and research about this. Go around and find out. You will see the many magic in the 12 houses.
But even though we have, let's say, X person's horoscope with us, we go to seventh house and we look at the fourth house from there. We don't know what are the placement of the planets of that person's mother, right?
Exactly.
So it will not be exact. We might just give some pointers, right?
No. When you are bloodly related, and that's why I ask you to see around with your family. Take your Jataka, your family's Jataka, go around if any of the couples and go with the couple's Jataka and ask about their mother-in-law Jatakam also, compare against them. The similarity is high, really high, and you will see the magic in it. And you may understand there are in a particular Jataka, if there was any star was dominating, you may also able to understand that. But for that research purpose, you do and see whether this is the trial and error only. Whatever I'm saying, it is not correct. Whatever I'm saying, it is not false as well. So go and see, check yourself. This is the thing. Okay, then find out whether what I'm saying is correct or not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is about our 12 houses. Then we'll go with the La Drama horoscope later in the session as well. Okay, then for the random revision, we'll quickly go and finish with the random revision for the Bath exam. Remember, from the last week, we started the random revision. We took one topic and we quickly revised that one. Okay. Anybody remember what is the last week revision? No?
Moon in.
No, last week what we revised? We randomly revised one topic, right? Whatever we learned till now, we are not going with the consecutive revision. We randomly pick the topic. I randomly pick the topic and come for the revision. Okay. Last week we revised like that. One topic. Anyone remember? No? Okay, then that becomes
Sorry, it was Yoga Karaka, right? Sorry, I was talking on mute. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, Yoga Karaka. Now we'll see about the Bathakastan. Whenever you see the horoscope, what are the few things you have to see when you read the horoscope? Means you see about the Lagna, you understand the person, you see the Rashi, that is where the moon is placed. So that means you understand about the mind of the person. Then see wherever there was so many planets grouped together at one Ras, concentrate highly on that Rashi itself. Then what are the things you have to find out? Find out the Bhatakastan. If the Sararasi means, Sararasi, what are the Sararasi will come? Charasthira Upaya, right? There are the three types of the Rashis. Charasthira Upaya. What is a Chararasi?
Mesha, Kataka, Tula, Makara.
Makara. Okay, how you can easily remember that one? Anybody?
It starts with movable, so you count fourth house from there. That way you have like 4
Yeah,
and
I
then
will give you one easy
No.
trick.
Movable, sthira, chara, sthira, dvi, swabhava, and then chara, sthira, dvi. Something like that. It's continuous. 1, 2, 3. Chara, sthira, and ubhaya. And then chara, sthira, ubhaya. So it goes like that, cycle.
So
Yeah.
you can easily remember that. Considered in the Kalapurusha chart, the Kendra comes into the Chararas. 1, 4, 7, 10 comes as the Chararas. So the fixed Rasi only you have to remember. Okay. Add a 1 to the Kendra. 2, 5, 8, and 11. So this one you have to put effort to remember this one. So otherwise you put the Kendra in the mind, add 1 to it. 2, 4, 5, 8, 11. Sorry, 2, 5, 8, 11. Okay. So the Upaya is very easy. Why? Called the Karna Rasis. You know that, right? 3, 6, 9, and 12. This is easy to remember?
Yeah, the corners are easy to remember. From there you can go.
The corner is easy, right? There was only one part you have to remember. One thing is the fixed Rasi. Fixed Rasi also, how you can remember? Add the Kendra plus 1, 2, 5, 8, and 11. Okay.
This is a good tip. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the easiest way you can easily remember. Okay, then when the Chara Rasi is coming, one that Mesha, Kadaka, Tula, and Makara, then the Patakasthana will be the 11th house. Remember all the time, this most of the time, even if you practice more things, this will become confused at one point in time. Remember, the highest value comes first. Most of them will confuse the 7th house. No. For the Chara Rasi, highest value comes first. Go with the 11th house. If you are a Tula Lagna, Simha Lagna will be your 11th house. Okay. So that becomes your Bhatakasthan. For the Vrishaba, Simha, Vrikshaba, Kumbha, 9th house becomes your house of obstacles. Then the Mithuna, Kanya, Danu, Meena becomes 7th house becomes your obstacles. Okay, what is the interesting point here? Anyone? Mithuna, Kanya, Danu, and Meena. Why this was an interesting point?
All corner houses.
Hmm?
Corner
And
houses. Wife becomes your
wife
Badaka.
and husband. Yeah, spouse.
Wife becomes padaka.
Yeah. The 7th house with your partners or your life partner, business partner, that they become the house of obstacles for you. Whatever the obstacles you are going to face in your world, in your life, they place the biggest role. Okay. See any of the people who are having the Mithuna, Kanni, Danu, and the Meena.
You
Okay,
mean the
let's go.
partnership then? The
Any
partners become the Badakas.
not only the partners, if husband and wife also, wife becomes the obstacle to the husband, husband becomes the obstacle
That's
to
what.
the
It can be a life partner or a business partner. The
business
partners
partner.
will be the obstacles. Okay.
Yes. That is an interesting one, right? See, any one of books they having like that. Okay, then
This
quickly.
also carries over to the Lagnas as well.
What is that?
Do Mithuna Lagna and Dhanu Lagna have the same issue related?
Okay, that's a good point. It's a good point. I will tell you that. Okay, here the 7th house becomes, because your spouse becomes, your partner becomes the obstacle for your Mithuna, Kanni, Dhanu, Meena, right? But for the Mesha, Karka, Tula, Makara, what is this 11th house? You are full of desires, you are luck. If that house lord and the graha particularly is not in a good position, it's not in an auspicious sign, that becomes give you greatest obstacle. You may not get the luck that much easily. You have to acquire and you have to put so much effort to bring one luck into your life. See, some people will say, I didn't do anything, based on the luck I got it. But these people have to forget about that. They have to, whatever they do, they will get the benefit out of it. Mesha, Karka, Tula, Makara people, ask them, if they dream about their lucks, they are missing many things in the world. They should not be depends on the luck. But that when they are not believing their lucks, there are so many pathways it will open for them. But not believing in that luck, it is the obstacle for them. Most of the people, when you go and talk with them, Mesha, Karka, Tula, and Makara, they said, no, I'm not believing in the luck. Knowingly, unknowingly, or subconscious, always think about the luck because your obstacle is the 11th house. It speaks about, it acts on it, but you didn't have an idea. But when you are break that obstacle, when you're overcome that one, you see the different perspective of the world. But that is really, really, really traditional. Anybody is a Mesha, Karka, Tula, Makara, Lagna? Yeah? Nobody? Is this working for you? Or you feel like the luck is all the way is all the time with me? No is? Okay, I consider it as a yes and no. Try and see, particularly Mesha, Karka, Tula, and Makara. If they believe in the luck, they fell into the trap of the fate. Okay? If they don't believe and they believe in whatever they are doing in their action, the luck will the side effect for them. Okay, let's come into the 9th house. Who's the 9th house for the Rishabha, Sinha, Vrikshibha, and Kumbha? What's the 9th house represent?
Bhagyasthana.
That's
Bhagyasthana.
father.
Father.
Your Guru state, the Guru Sthana, or whoever you are believing as the Guru. So they becomes the house of Bhatakasthana for you. And you will think, well, how come my father becomes an obstacle for me? Okay, there's a different thing.
No, so from a relationship perspective, Karaka Lagna, it will be the elder brother who is the obstacle. And for Simha Lagna, it will be the father. And for Kanya Danu, it will be the wife. Is it? Would that be?
Yeah, in the relationship wise. When you see about the if the Mesha, Karka, Tula, and Makara will come, you won't get help from your elder siblings. Even okay, there was a twist here. You won't get the help from the elder siblings. You may get an obstacle. Suppose you may say like, I'm getting an n number of help from my elder siblings. Then there will be the different thing which is happening on another side of the life. If you are getting an help from your elder siblings efficiently, the luck may not come to you. If the luck is coming to you, you may not get the elder siblings help. It's a kind of the balance coming in your life. We may not notice, but it's already in our life. But in the relationship, yes, that's a wonderful thing to say. 11th house is an elder sibling, 9th house is your father-in-law and guru, 7th house is your spouse. So they become the house of obstacles. And they also becomes your stepping stone in your success. Okay, let's quickly see about the Bhatakasthana. Who's a lord of the obstacles? Mesha, 11th house. This one you have to remember for an easy understanding. Whenever you see any of the Lagna, Mesha Lagna, the I have to be going into the 11th house. Mesha, 11th house is the Kumbha, then the Saturn. Rishabha, Makara. 9th house, why the 9th house? Rishabha is the Sthira Rasi, so 9th house becomes the obstacle. So Makara, Saturn again. Mithuna 7th house, Dhanush, Jupiter. Karka 11th house, Rishabha, Venus. Simha 9th house, Mesha, Mars. Kanya 7th house, Meena, Jupiter. Tula 11th house, Simha, Sun. Vrikshika 9th house, Karka, Moon. And Dhanush 7th house, Mithuna, Mercury. Makara 11th house, Vrikshika, Mars. Kumbha 9th house, Tula, Venus. Meena 7th house, Kanya, Mercury. So why we need to about the lot of the obstacles? So you have to understand, once you know which is the Bhatakasthana for you, you have to see the lot of the obstacle where it is placed in the chart. Okay, this is about quick revision. We're moving into the moon today. we know about the moon, Chandra, Sashi, mainly for the mental and the mind. It also represents your mother. How the sun is represented as your father, moon is representing signifies your mother. Emotion. And what mainly represents all kind of the water bodies, particularly ocean. And know about the planet, you already know about it. Even though I quickly revise this one, own house is the Karka, exalted in the Rishabha, debilitated in the Scorpio. Both exaltation is third 3 degree, debilitation is also 3 degree. And the Mula Trikona is again the Rishabha, 3 to 30 degree. Gender is the female. Aspect is having only one aspect is 7. The direction north-west, directional strength was not. Malefic benefic, it depends upon the period of the moon, which particularly on that day. Adi Devata Jala, Pratyadi Devata Gauri. Elements is again a Jala. Dosha, Kapha plus Vata. Maturity age will be 26. Dhatu, blood, grains or paddy. Okay, let's go into the relation. Start. Okay, I didn't think this is the moon. Okay. Sun and the man. For the moon, nobody is an enemy. Okay. Everybody was a friend or the neutral. Who's the main friend? Sun and the Mercury, because they are the husband and the son. Everybody others are neutral to it. Nakshatra, Rogini, fourth one, third Hasta, 22 Shravana, Moon Darsha period is the 10th house. So this is we already seen. That's why I went in a very great speed. Okay, last week we studied about the 3 houses, moon in the first house, except for the 3 rasis, Aries, Taurus, Cancer. The moon in the first house is not considered as the good sign because they are very much impulsive, aggressive, and anger in the nature will come when the moon in the first house. Okay, then you will ask one more question as well. If I have this, the moon in the first house, but I don't have this Aries, Taurus, Cancer, but I don't have this kind of the quality. That is totally possible if it was associated with any other graha present in it. Okay, then the story will definitely change. But particularly the main habit won't change. The impulsiveness will be there, but the percentage will be reduced. The anger in the nature will be there, but they won't get angry often. They will get whenever there was a need. Well, let's go with the second house. Second house represents your liquid assets, speech and family, food and nourishment. These people are the home-loving person. Simple way to say home-loving person. One weakness is they are not unable to control their expenditures. Third house, it represents your aim, ambition, courage, art and the passion, communication. Mostly your neighborhoods are living nearby only. Definitely when the moon in the third house give you that strength, they are ambitious, victorious, true to consciousness. They allow to travel, experts in various skills. Okay, now we'll seeing into the moon in the fourth house. Now our today's class starts. Okay, moon in the fourth house is a special because this gives the Dikbala. When the moon in the fourth house Dikbala means the moon which is going to give you the full strength to the individual. Okay, before that, what is the fourth house represent?
Mother,
Pleasure.
Happiness.
Matrusthana.
Happiness. Matrusthana. Happiness. Yeah. If you in your horoscope, if you see the fourth house, that represent your happiness, whatever your fourth house will be, that is going to give you the happiness. There is no change in it. You go ahead and see whatever the fourth house will be, that you feel the happiness in it. Whatever it is, whichever the rasi in the 12 rasis it will be, the fourth house is your happiness. You may think like I feel the happiness here, you may happiness there. No, you don't see your fourth house, you definitely pinpointly find out your happiness. Okay, then the fourth house represents your interest and the nurturing skills as well. Why the nurturing skills is coming here? When the fourth house and that to moon in the fourth house, you remember in the Kala Purusha chart, fourth house for the Kadakaras, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Fourth house is the Kadakarasi. Moon's natural ability is nurturing and caring for the others, emotional towards others, showing sympathy towards others. This is all the inbuilt quality of the Kadakarasi. And who's the owner? Moon is the owner. Now the moon is in the fourth house. So you will see. This is the layering here. In the Kala Purusha, fourth house is the Moon's house. That is the Cancer. Moon is the owner. Now, whenever you see that in your Jataka, your fourth house can be any one of the 12 rasis. Okay, but in your back of the mind, you remember the Kala Purusha's fourth house as well. Okay, remember that one. And additionally, what is the fourth house represent? Then what is the moon's quality? Now you're combining together. Plus, additionally, moon also having the Tikbala. Then what is the meaning? Moon is giving the greatness of the auspicious to the individuals. Now, the emotional care and the concern. With mostly the fourth house that is representing for the nurturing and emotional towards others, caring emotionally. They are not like whenever they care for you, yeah, it's from their heart. They want to do, they want to care for you. You see the motherly touch towards them. Then you may ask, Vanita, I'm a man, and how can you see this is the motherly touch? It doesn't mean that you are a man or woman. The touch is the motherly touch means you have that much of the passion when you are caring for others. You put your emotion into it. So that's your motherly touch. And if you are having this fourth house moon, happy marital and the family life, it's for sure. But there was one trick here. If the moon is combined with any other planets, then the story can get a little bit twisted here and there, but the basic essence is won't change. They have the higher possibility because the moon in the Digbala, you have the higher possibility of having happy married life for sure. And moon is like, moon was glowing, right? All the time it was like beautiful. Yeah, these peoples are very cheerful and they are very homely in nature. You can see a person and say, moon in the fourth house for them or not. They also hold the powerful position in the private as well as in the public sectors. Most of the people who are donating number of their assets towards the world, if you can see, definitely the moon in the fourth house plays the biggest role. Anybody was having moon in the fourth house? No? Give you a random chart for you. Meena Lagna. And the fourth house is the moon. Okay. Now tell me how this person will be. Meena Lagna and the moon was in the fourth house. Imagine here the Jupiter, because I put the Lagnadhipati as well. Anybody? How is it? You understand, or I'm going in a overspeed? I know I
So
had
Jupiter aspect is also there on moon in this case.
Yes.
And
Okay, no,
Digbala
but
is also
you
there.
forgot this one. You don't have the Jupiter aspect as well. How about this situation? Your Lagna is the mean Lagna, and the moon was in the fourth house. Now we are going to add the Jupiter in the next page. But
Okay.
how about this situation? There was no Grahas aspecting moon, and the Lagna was in the Meena Lagna. Is this all qualities will come to play or not?
It should, because
Okay, now here is the trick. But for the moon, you don't need to worry about it because the moon treats everybody as their friend or the neutral. So there was no enemy thing. The moon is comfortable in all the 12 rasis. So we don't need to worry about that. And what are the things you have to look in the Kala Purusha chart? What is the third house represents? What is your third house in the Kala Purusha chart?
siblings, correct.
Sorry. Wait. The third house, the Mithuna Rasi is the third house of the Kala Purusha chart, right?
Mhm.
So now for this birth chart, it becomes a fourth house of this Jataka. So now you have to combine that the Mithuna Rasi quality as well to this fourth house. Along with it, then you have to say everything. So now for the easy kind of interpretation, remove that the Kala Purusha chart to saying that we are going to see Lagnadipati as the Meena Lagna, and the moon was in the fourth house, then all this quality will come into picture. Okay? I'm going to mute everyone. If you want to unmute, please unmute yourself. Okay. Now, when the Jupiter was expecting, it was the good sign. Definitely, everything will come into picture. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now the situation, I'm going to change the situation here. Now the Rahu was here, and the Ketu was here. Now tell me what will be this person will look like. Now you have to remember the Rahu and the Ketu significance as well. Okay, anybody tell me about the Rahu significance? Only 2-3 points is enough.
Illusion, right?
Passionate, obsessed.
Obsess, yes, obsess. Okay, how we can remember the Rahu? Remember, if you can remember the Mars, then go. It's number of steps ahead of the Rahu. What does it mean? If the Mars people want to hit somebody, it was just one hit. But when the Rahu wants to hit the other people, it was like a 10 hits. It wasn't like a Mars is one step means the Rahu is 10 steps ahead of them. So that much aggressiveness will be. So Rahu is aggressive, illusion will comes into play, and the obsessiveness will come extra things like an unimaginable things. Okay? Now comes into the Ketu. Ketu let go of everything. Let go of everything. Remember that one point. Now combine the moon with it. Then the moon is having now the moon in the fourth house. It pulls of all the qualities because it's in a Digbala as well. Now this Jataka will be emotional, care, concern. You may think like that. But now the Ketu was placed in it. Ketu will have a tendency to let go. What is it meaning? Then the inbuilt nature will go off? No, it won't go off. These people may not be an emotional, but they becomes an empathy towards others. They care for them. They have this set of the boundary. They won't emotionally deep into them, but definitely they care for them. But instead of the sympathy, they go with an empathy. That's one point. The happy marital and the family life gets a toll on it because the moon will ask them to live a happy family life. The Ketu will give you the jnana to the brain. So it's a kind of a little bit controversy here and there. Definitely, they are cheerful because of the moon's analysis. Because of the wonderful knowledge Ketu is going to give them. There's a high possibility of here, but Rahu is also expecting. There is a possibility this may not occur for them. Okay. So I am trying to this kind of a chart to read. So whenever you are going to see any of the Jataka, have a habit of understanding what are the grafas present in it, what the Kala Purusha chart house for that particular Rashi. For this one, what we thought about is the Lagnadipati, which is the Kala Purusha's 12th house. Now the Lagnadipati's first house. When you see about the moon in the fourth house, but in the Kala Purusha chart, that is in the third house. When I'm saying it looks like confusing, but don't worry. Whenever you practicing for in number of Jataka, it comes into your mind automatically. Okay, the third house is the Kala Mithuna is the third house, Kala Purusha's third house. Now this is the Jataka's fourth house. Okay, now everything comes into your mind. What is the Mithuna Rasi will do? And the fourth house, moon significance, any of the aspecting graha significance, then what are the things you have to see? Okay, now I'm going to give you one quick quiz for you. Okay, yes, again.
Sir, please repeat sympathy and empathy. You had said that told us before also.
Okay, but a simple thing, okay? Sympathy means you consider the one situation described by your friends or families. They are in a trouble and they are trying to tell you that I'm in this kind of the trouble. I'm this kind of the sad state I'm in. Okay, imagine the sad state was in out of the 10 scale. They are deep into the sad state of 7. And when you are the third person hearing that one, if you are in a sympathy mode, right, what you will do, you will jump into that situation. Now you are in that sad mode, and the involved person is having out of the 10 scale, he's having the 7, means you will have the 10 out of 10 because you deeply into that situation, you feel that emotion, you sympathy towards them. You feel like whatever the pain they are gaining, you also feel like you also pain that. But when empathy comes into the picture, when n number of the people share their struggles to them, they try to help them instead of jumping into into their life and get the sadness into them. They sit aside and give the solution. So, in other words, in a spiritually, what you can see, whenever I saw the most of the healers, whenever they go for a healing session, it will take 2 minutes. Whenever they are going for a healing session, the healing session will be considered of the n number of the situations the people will come. But if the healer was considered the healer was the sympathetic person, when that person was healing, you may do a prana healing or reiki healing, whatever the healing, even the hypnotherapy healing. When the person was the healer is the sympathetic person, the aura you are going to touch, it's come towards you. You are not protected well. Whatever the person involved in situation, it also comes towards you. It breaks your aura. It puts a hole in your aura. But instead, if you are an empathetic person, means the protective shield will be very much high. Even though the situation it's explained by that person was very very sad and you can't even able to digest, but you won't get affected if you are an empathetic person. You try to help them, you try to give the solution to them. If you are not able to give that solution to them also, at least you will give the ear to them. They feel like you are listening, you definitely will listen. But you won't jump into their problem. Don't hurt yourself. In whatever the scriptures you are reading, whatever the lessons you get in your life, at the end of the day, there was one lesson will definitely come. Don't hurt yourself. Protect yourself, protect your body, protect your mind. This is the one sentence will come, no matter whatever the scriptures you are reading. The same thing will come into sympathy and empathy story will come. I hope
So
you
it is a
understand.
kind of, when there is a Ketu, only moon is there. There is an attached, connected attachment, and whatever we have to do for them, nurturing we do with attachment. Where there is a Ketu, because of the wisdom, also that detachment, let go attitude, there won't be any transference of emotions, but you will be there. You will have the nurturing. Moon with Ketu will be detached support, not emotionally getting connected because of the presence of Ketu. If only moon is there, emotionally connecting and then trying to help them, nurturing them.
You're directly jump into it. You don't want to be, you will give 100% to them. You feel like that problem is yours.
Yeah, the transference of emotions happens if only moon is there. If Ketu is there, because of the let go character of the Ketu, the transference of emotions will not happen. In a detached way, you will nurture that or support that.
Yeah, the detachment is established very much clearly. And interestingly, the other person won't feel it until unless they are highly evolved. Okay.
Vanita, just one thing. The chart that you actually drew, it happens to be of my son, like, it coincides. His Lagna is Meena Lagna.
I hear your voice very low. Can you repeat something? The Lagna is the Meena Lagna, then?
Yeah, and the moon is in the 4th house with Ketu.
Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's the
Who's
same
this?
that you had. This is Supriya here. This is my son's, not mine.
Awesome. How is your son?
Yeah, probably the way you said.
Oh, okay.
He is not that attached, but then, yeah, he shows some care and concern, kind of. Yeah. And probably I would say, yes, 90% of it matches to what you said.
Yeah. These people are really beautiful. When the moon and Ketu was combined in the 4th house, if the moon was there, if you they will give you a number of emotions to you, right? Sorry, and fully emotion to you. When they are affected, you also affected. But when they also affected, you also get affected. But when the moon and Ketu will combine, even though they're getting hurt, they won't show their hurtness towards others. They know how to detach from the hurtness as well. Try to understand your son and let us know how it will be. This will be the interesting prediction.
Yeah, probably I'll do that because somewhere I was just trying to connect when you said, somewhere I feel yes, he empathizes, but probably he will never be like, he will give you a solution and walk away. I mean, he's
Yeah, that's
14
for
years
sure.
old, but yeah, but then he will not be like, he will not come and, you know, sit with you or crib or do anything of that sort. So what, ma, it's okay. And he will just move over. If not this, let's do something else. That's all.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with anybody was having moon in the 4th house? Okay, let's go with the 5th house then. Moon in the 5th house will show you. Okay, first thing, what's the 5th house will represent? Progeny, your
Creativity.
feeling,
Creativity.
yeah, your intellectual knowledge,
Yes.
your love of affairs, yes, your love of affairs and amusements you trying to pursue, all kind of the speculation, any kind of the childlike activities in you, everything will be representing the 5th house. So this is the 5th house significance. Now we have to combine the moon with it. When the moon was in the 5th house, we know what is the moon's basic nature. Basic nature of the moon is the motherly nurturing ability, and it's a beautiful in nature, pure in nature. So you have to combine everything. These people are very much pure about that. They didn't have an idea how to manipulate the things. They didn't have an idea how to say bad words to them. There are some people in the world, they will say, they casually talk the bad words towards the others, but these people didn't have an idea how to use, how to pronounce like that. They are very much pure-hearted. And when the moon in the 5th house, interestingly, they have the clarity of the thoughts. Why? Mostly when the moon was there is a high chances of your mood swing will. You will think at the moment you will think about one action, and the very next moment you will think about another action. Your mind will swing from one end to another end. It's like an natural activity for you. But when the moon in the 5th house, the clarity of the thoughts will come as it is. You don't have that kind of I want to go this way, I want to go that way. No, they know what they want to do. That kind of the clarity. Even when you speak, or when they speak also, if their if the 3rd house is good graha present in it, even then if an inauspicious graha was there, the moon in the 5th house, their clarity of the thoughts will make them to do great actions in their life. Obviously, they're very much artistic. If you see the people's, their hand will flow. Artist means they may be in any professions in the life. They may be the dancers. They may be the pot creator. They may be the drawing any of painting in the carpets. Anybody, but their creativity is tremendous. They have all kind of the good qualities. Additionally, their speculative mind is also high. And these people are obviously well, because this clarity of the thoughts plus the speculation make them own in many things in their life. That's why these people make them wealthy in every aspect of their life. Most of the time, these people are psychologists. Anybody was having the moon in the 5th house? This is very great house when the moon was in the 5th
My daughter
house.
has it. My
Oh,
daughter
really?
has it.
Houses is matching?
Yes, most of it.
Any graha was present in it?
Rahu.
Oh. Okay, wait a second. This is the best one. Wait a second. Over means don't consider it. It is a different one. It's a good one. That over. Okay. What is her
Rushabha,
lagna?
Rushabha Lagna, Uttara Rashi, Uttara Nakshatra, Kanya Rashi,
Rishabha lagna, and the 5th house is the
Kanya.
moon along with the Rahu.
Yeah.
Ketu in the 11th house.
And Shani there, actually.
11th house.
Yeah, Shani and Ketu in 11th.
And when the moon and the Rahu was combined, okay, here comes the trick. Definitely they have the pure hearted. There is no change in it. But when the Rahu was present, it was like the Rahu presence is also there. But you remember the degree of the moons and the Rahu?
No, I don't remember the Rahu, but I know about Chandra, like moon. Moon is Uttara, so it should be in the first 6 degrees.
Okay. If the moon was okay, I forgot about the degree thing because I don't want to confuse here. Moon and the Rahu. When the moon along with the Rahu present means, then the Rahu's energy is also involved here. The pure-hearted will be there, but the clarity of the thoughts will be additionally with the illusions is also placed here. They have the clear clarity of the thoughts, but their imagination you can't even thought about it. Their imagination level will be really high. But additionally, they're having the clarity of the thoughts. Is that so?
Yes. She's very highly imaginative.
And if these people, if this kind of the combination when they went into an animation profession and the cinematic profession, when you're creating an illusion, when you're trying to create an illusion in a creative way, these peoples are very much good in it. Okay. When I don't know how many of you saw about the Tinkerbell. I don't know you interested about the Tinkerbell or not. Anybody see the Tinkerbell movie? It's a fully animated movie. This I believe it is a Disney production. The fully animated movie, but the creativity in that was in a very, very different way. I feel that whenever there was the moon in the 5th, the people who created this will definitely have the moon in the 5th house because that much of the clarity in the one frame, you can't even find a mistake in any part of the screen. That much creativity will be there. That is the clarity of the thoughts. When you frame a screen and you didn't find any spot of an error, that much the clarity of the thought it comes into one people's mind. Definitely the moon's energy is highly involved. And how is that possible? Because when the Rahu's energy is also there, they have an ability to imagine what you can't imagine. And that's a kind of an illusion. That's the moon Rahu combination. But it's a kind of the Rahu's combination will be there. But when they are okay, here comes the thing. Their speculative mind will be really high. Okay, imagine a situation and a moon only in the 5th house. The speculation is in a very moderate level. Okay, but when the Rahu was there, the speculation will be in a very, very higher level. They think in a way, they speculate in a level was really high. The possibility is really they are wealthy. They are okay. Then here is the one checkpoint here. The possibility is the wealth will come into them for sure. There is no doubt about it. But when the Rahu is present, their wealth may go increase and it drops as well. That is the point that the individual have to be taken care of about their belongings. But this is not about to check at every point, okay, my wealth is growing and I'm going to drop at any moment or not. No need to think in that way. But what I'm trying to say is when you are speculating, because your Rahu is in the 5th house, so your speculation have to be controlled. Because you already have the quality of the clarity of the thoughts in your mind. Definitely when you're practicing meditation, this comes on its own.
And she has interest in psychology also. She studied psychology.
Yes.
And will they be possessive and stubborn, ma'am?
Possibility is high, but the
Yes,
moon's
stubborn
presence,
and not possessive probably, but
yeah,
stubborn or yeah, the other character of Rahu, obsession kind of thing.
That should be a
Yes.
very big drawback in relationships.
As long
but
as
the
you
moon
are
will,
okay.
the moon will
Yeah.
make it smooth, but it won't give it that kind of aggression because the moon is in the good house.
Okay.
And aspected, okay, there is an interesting thing, the aspecting by the Sunny as well. When the Rahu was trying to exaggerate thing, the Sunny makes you to control, and Sunny wants a judgment in everything. I mean, it won't makes you do unimaginable thing. So there was a control given by the Sunny as well. That's why I don't think this Jataka may have an obsessive nature. I'm not sure, but do you have to say?
Well, no, stubborn maybe kind of one. If she gets an idea, she has to, she kind of grinds it until she gets something out of it.
But definitely the Rahu's nature will be there.
But she's very pure-hearted, that very innocent actually, and that's
for sure.
yeah.
But when the moon in the fifth house, no matter which way the malefic planet was present, the pure heartedness will come, no matter what. Even though the high malefic planet Rahu was present in it, doesn't matter. They're pure hearted is hearted only. Yeah.
But because of the 15 days waxing and waning, at some point of time, Rahul will get the upper hand and play spoil sport there. That's the only thing.
It will be there.
Does Rahu gives I heard it gives sudden losses and sudden gains?
Yeah, that's why I told you, right? When the Rahu is combined, you will get the wealth. You definitely will get the wealth. When there is a thing, you may drop, you lose it everything at once. So that's the point. You should develop your ability, you should develop your skills so you can withstand any situations in your life.
Okay.
But the moon, but when the moon's energy, when it was going in this way in the 15 days, then comes down again to the one level, then that point in time the Rahu takes its control. But here comes an interesting thing. Okay, when you see this one as the as the Jataka, this is the one point will come, right? Because then moon's energy will reduce at one point and increase at another 15 days. Okay? Then in your daily life, there is one more thing plays in your role. That is the daily gochar. Your daily planetary position is also plays a role here. So in addition to your birth chart, whatever the grahas traveling on that particular day, that may pacify or improve or may increase the aggressiveness of the Rahu here. Imagine a situation, you have a moon over the moon and moon over the Rahu. Even though the moon was in a good place, the moon over the moon is not a good one. And when there was an other situation will come. So I won't go deep into it here. But what I'm trying to say here was, remember this one point. Even though the chart was like moon and Rahu was there, the moon tendency will increasing and decreasing. Then you have to remember in your day-to-day life, the daily planetary position is also happening. And also your Dasha Buddhi and there is also happening. So everything you have to take into account to find out the solution. But we don't need to go into deeper this much at all at once. What the here objective here was, when the moon in the first house, remember these points. Then add whenever there was an additional graha was present in it, whenever the aspect was present in it, then add everything. Then you will find out on one solution. Okay. Anything you want to add, anybody? Anything you want to add anything to this? Moon in the fifth house. Awesome. Okay, I thought to finish the sixth house today, but I couldn't. We'll continue from the sixth house from next week. Is that okay?
Sure. Vinita, I have one question, please.
Hmm.
Like we see any planet in any house, and we see the house, the karakas of the house. But how do we see the Kalpurusha charts, fourth house or fifth house? How do we relate the Kalpurusha house with the person with the natives Jataka?
Okay, consider this is the chart for the for her child. So now the Lagna was the Rishabha Lagna. Okay, for the Kalapurusha chart, what is the Rishabha Rashi? Which house is the Rishabha Rashi?
Second house.
Second house.
Second house, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then whenever you see the chart, you remember, first understand the the complete horoscope in front of you. Don't remember the Kalapurusha chart immediately. That may confuse you. First understand the chart. Whenever you see the horoscope, understand the Lagna, understand the Rasi. Then for this chart, the Lagna is the Rishabha Lagna, the Sthira Rasi. Obviously, here itself it was telling these people are fixed in nature, steady in nature. They want to, whatever they want to do, they want to be steady in their life. Then we'll go into the Rashi first. This is about the Lagna. When in the Rishabha Lagna people, these people are really beautiful because the Rishabha Lagna, in the Rishabha Rashi, these people are naturally beautiful because of this moon's energy. Then once you understand the Lagna, go to the moon and understand about their mind as well. Because here the moon is in the which Rasi it is? Kanni Rasi. Kanni is the so it's a soft one again. Then once you understand about the mind nature, once you understand the physical and the mind nature, then see wherever there was a number of the grahas in it. So there are then some peoples, they all took 5 grahas at one Rasi. There are a number of the peoples, they are having the 3 Rasis in one Rasi. First look into that first. Then once you understand that, find out the exaltation, debilitation, Bhatakasthan. And then you find, if you have a time, go with the Yoga Karaka or any of the yogas present in the chart. But when you understand the Lagna and the Rashi, this is the moment you have to align the Kalapurusha chart with the natal chart. How? So once you understand the Lagna, once you understand the moon, then you have to remember, okay, in the Kalapurusha chart, the Lagna is the second house. And the Jataka's second house is the Kalapurusha's third house, and the Rashi, which is in the 6th house, is the Jataka's 5th house. So once you understand this point, so the Kalapurusha's 12th house is the 11th house, and the Kalapurusha's first house is the 12th house for the Jataka. So that's why you have to align it. But in the beginning, it feels like I can't remember this, I can't remember that, but once you practice one chart, once you practice second chart, the first chart is really hard. You feel like I can't do it. The second chart, you feel like, oh, it's okay, I can do it. The second chart, it looks like, okay, I definitely do it. Okay, once there was one trick which I learned from speak. Okay. There is one trick I learned from one of my learning. There is one practice we have to describe our deep emotion to first person. Any of the only you have to take whatever which is happening in your life, which is affecting you more, and you have to pick up that one deep emotion and you have to converse that with the opposite person. Okay, there are 3 different peoples will be there. So first you have to speak with them with the whatever the situation which you come across in your life, the deep emotion. Okay, you are going to discuss with the first person. It was like everything was coming out, and the emotions is also will be deep. And you are going to describe the same situation to the second person. This time your emotions will be reduced. And you are going to describe the same situation to the third person. The emotions will be drastically reduced, and you feel like what kind of the emotion which I'm in the few minutes ago, and what kind of the emotion which I'm in the few minutes again. That the same technique here. Whenever you feel like you compare against the Kalapurusha chart and the natal chart, you feel like it was an hardship for you. I totally agree with it. But when you practiced one chart, it was like a big obstacle, and you feel like this is the biggest hardship in my life. Then you feel the second one and the third one, it's a cakewalk for you. Is that okay?
Yes, Bonita, my question was a little different, but we can continue next time if you think the time is up.
Oh, I misunderstood your question. What is your question?
My question was, I wanted you to explain, like just in this case, if moon is now in 5th house, but Kalpurusha it is in 6th house. So how will it affect the 6th and the 5th? What is it we have to take into account?
Oh, okay. Whenever you have to remember that one, but this is the 6th house. Okay. You remember when I talk about the Bhav Shalit? Anybody
No,
remember the Bhav Shalit chart? No?
Yeah, it's the houses. So you have to consider the houses.
Okay, when you are saying this is the first house for you, there is a Bhava Shalita, there is a different calculation was there. So whenever you are saying this is my first house means the first house may extend it to here as well. So whenever the Kalapurusha chart, if it was in the 6th house, means 6th house represents your lunar Ripu. So that is the 6th house significance here. Here it is the 5th house. 5th house represents activity intellectual. So in the Kalapurusha, it is the 6th house which is representing this one. And you try to match it against in the 5th house. Because in the Kalapurusha's Roga Rina Ripusthana only, the 5th house now was placed. So that means the Kanni Rasi, which is having its own significance, right? The Kanni Rasi, the Buddhan, whatever comes into their life, it won't take it as very much serious. It take it as an easy. Even if it is the very big disease was coming, even the enemy was coming, it won't take it as a very serious one. So the mind will be very much light. They are not aggressive in nature. Now coming to the 5th house here. Why I'm taking as the mind into the picture here? Because the moon was present in your 5th house. So you have to take the mind as your interconnecting between the 6th house in the Kalapurusha, 5th house in your current chart. So the mind, which is mind, already when you see the 6th house in the Kalapurusha, 5th house, the moon will be there, then definitely their mind will be very much light. Light means they won't take anything into serious. They won't take anything hard into. They won't take everything hard into their heart. They feel like okay, everything, whatever the things which happen, let it be. So consider the situation when your 6th house Kalapurusha chart. Now the moon was present. You took the mind. Consider the situation. There was the sun was present. What you will take?
Soul.
No, your Atmakarga will be different. Depends upon an highest degree, you have to choose that. Okay, then you have to see what kind of the administration power, what kind of the father you have, what kind of the children you will have, and what kind of the creativity, what kind of an authority you will have. So that you will going to compare against the same kind of the quality in the 6th house of the Kalapurusha chart. Okay, in the 6th house of the Kalapurusha, if it was the 5th house of the sun was present, now tell me what it will be. Is that easy to understand or I'm overcomplicating the things?
Little bit tricky. That's what I think it's kind of hard to see what are the characteristics that you want to bring in.
Okay, don't worry. When you are again repeating the 12 houses, right? It will come into your mind automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I told you the Navagrahas, it should be in your fingertip now. Definitely now it will be, because we saw this Navagrahas in a very elaborate fashion. So now also we are seeing in the moon in the 5th house and every other planet in a different house. To end of this journey, our knowledge will definitely be increased. Then that point in time, I say the same technique to you. Maybe that point in time you may easily understand that. Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay,
I think so.
okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you all next week then. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you.